Hi, 10th graders. This is Rabbi Light here. And for the next few days, Dr. Moss will be absent. And I know that you begin all of your Jewish studies classes with a kasha and teirutz of Rashi, with a problem of a Rashi verse and a teirutz, a solution. And we're going to begin each day of Dr. Moss's absence with not one, but two Rashis. And so to do this, you'll want to add this to your scorecard and for your Pirkei Avot unit as well, which I know you're working on. And it will be important to have a chart that looks a little bit like this, something that has my kasha, Rashi's kasha, my teirutz, and Rashi's teirutz, and two lines, because I'm going to ask you as we go through the videos to start class to be writing in these columns. Dr. Moss knows that he will be looking at these when he does the final grading of the class. So obviously you have your Pirkei Avot unit to be working on, but also the filling out of these charts will be a component of his grading while you are away. So once you might want to stop the video, substitute teacher, to allow students to create this document, and then in subsequent days you can just kind of copy and paste the document as the blank document. So I would create two: one you're going to use today, one you'll use which you'll copy from. All right, so here we go, everyone. Welcome, and we're going to be placing an answer in this column, the My Kasha column. So as you know, this is how this works. We're kind of on the story right now of Sarah being told that she's going to have a baby. Vatitzchak Sarah b'kerba lemor. And Sarah laughed inside herself, saying, I am withered. Am I to have enjoyment? And my husband is so old. Then God said to Abraham, why did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I really have a child? I am so old. So what do you think the kasha is here that Rashi is going to be asking about? See if you can figure that out. Go to your next page and write your kasha in the kasha spot. Here is the kasha. Why is God lying to Abe? Did you see that, everyone? Look at this. So it says, Sarah laughed to herself, saying, now I'm withered, and am I to have enjoyment? And my husband is so old. Am I to really have the pleasure of having a baby? My husband, look how old he is. But then when God talks to Abraham, God says, why did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I really have a child? I am so old. But Sarah didn't say that. Sarah said, my husband's so old. When God talks to Abraham about what Sarah said, God seems to change the words. I am so old. Why is God lying to Sarah? Why is God lying to Abraham about Sarah's words? What is Rashi's kasha? Summarize that here. And when you're done that, think about what you think could be a great teirutz. What could be a solution? What would be yours? And this will be a good place for teacher to stop, take a few of the ideas of what could be a great teirutz before we look at Rashi's. Welcome back. Now we're going to look at Rashi's, and here is Rashi's answer. Rashi's saying, it's not a real lie. It's a white lie meant to preserve peace between Abe and Sarah. We just learned that Abe and Sarah are going to have a baby, but in order to have the baby, they actually have to like each other. And once Abraham learns that Sarah thinks he's old and over the hill, Abe is not going to feel too good about becoming intimate, about having a child with his wife. So God alters the peace there. And by the way, it was a nice point to talk a little bit about the takeaway. So you could stop the video and talk about what's the major message, because there is a really interesting message here in this piece of Rashi. The takeaway is called in Aramaic a nafkamina. What's the thing you take away? So what do you think the nafkamina is here? I didn't ask you that in the chart, but please go ahead and talk about that in class. All right, everyone. So we're now finished with Rashi number 1. Oh, first of all, write Rashi's teirutz in the box. And now we are on we're on number 2, right? My kasha. And here is the problem. So we've now ended the story of Abraham having a child. It just so happens that the 3 angels that come to tell Abraham and Sarah that they're going to have a child, one of them is there to tell that story. One of them is there to comfort and visit the sick, because Abraham just became circumcised for the first time at like 99 years old. And one of them is going off to look at the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah and see if they're really very very guilty and as evil as he's hearing. Okay, so the Torah says the following: Er dana ve'er hakata haba'a Eli. I, God, will go down to see whether they have acted altogether according to the outcry that has reached me. If not, I will take note. What do you think Rashi's what's your kasha here? Okay, welcome back. Now that you've written your kasha, let's go check out Rashi's kasha. God is everywhere. What does it mean that God is actually going down? So, right, Rashi's kasha, you might want to pause. Welcome back. What about your Teirutz? What is a Teirutz? What is a solution that you have to Rashi's kasha? And let's look at Rashi's Teirutz here. What might be a potential Teirutz for my kasha? God is not actually going down. The word going down means to investigate closely, and teaches us that investigating matters first before passing judgment is the way we should do things. So going down doesn't mean I'm physically going down. Going down means I am intellectually focusing in on something else. And what about a nafkamina? Is there a nafkamina that we can take from this? All right, and that is the end of day 1. You can go ahead and move on to the other parts of your day.